The movie opens with a view of a picturesque yet eerie pond with dark water, located in a desolate area known as Blackwater. Following that, a family of three is shown, consisting of a girl named Grace, her husband Adam, and her younger sister Lee. They are on their way to a crocodile park for a vacation where there are many crocodiles. They arrive in a short period of time. They find many tourists there who are feeding the crocodiles. Everyone is watching this scene and enjoying the park. Now at night, they go to a hotel and discuss their plans for the next day. They decide to go to a nearby pond which is called Blackwater for fishing. It is the same pond that we saw earlier. The next day they reach the pond, which is huge and spreads out even from afar, surrounded by trees because it is also a forest. They meet a man here who has a boat and is a guard of the place. He will help them on their journey. Now after a short time he takes them fishing. The guard mentions that his boss is also here with another family for tourism and that he has a gun for emergencies because there are a lot of crocodiles. They enjoy the surroundings while on the boat, taking pictures, and everything seems lovely to them. They go far from the shore and stop at a place to try to catch a fish, but they are unsuccessful, so the guard takes them farther out. Grace's husband tries again, and this time a fish hooks onto their rope. They are happy, but suddenly their boat shakes and tilts, causing them all to fall into the water. It turns out that it wasn't a fish, but a crocodile that had struck their boat. Grace's husband gets terrified and says, "Hurry up, get on the tree." He panics and helps Grace climb onto a tree. When it's her sister's turn, he can't find her and starts looking for her. Meanwhile, Grace sees a crocodile attacking the guard, meaning the crocodile has ended the guard's life. Grace becomes scared as the crocodile moves towards her husband. She screams for him to climb up the tree, and he does so immediately. Grace's sister is shown hiding under the tilted boat. She comes out of the water and the crocodile moves towards her. Seeing this, Grace tells her to get on the boat immediately. As her sister climbs onto the boat, the crocodile reaches them and starts shaking the boat, trying to make her fall. She gets scared but manages not to fall into the water. As she holds onto the boat tightly, Grace's husband makes noise in the water to divert the crocodile's attention, so that Lee can escape. There is peace for a moment because the crocodile has left, taking the floating dead body of the guard with it. Grace tells her husband that the crocodile has left and it's the right time to get Lee out of there. She asks Lee to throw the rope towards them, which is hanging from the boat. Lee throws the rope and Grace's husband starts pulling her. The boat is stuck and heavy, so it doesn't move despite their efforts. Grace asks Lee to come forward, gathering her courage. Initially afraid, Lee eventually moves into the water and swims. She climbs up the tree but injures her foot due to the crocodile's attack. They now face the problem of how to escape. Grace suggests that they wait, as the guard's boss will likely come looking for him. They stay there and wait. Much time passes but no one arrives. The crocodile continues to return, repeatedly circling them and waiting for them to come down so it can attack. Grace's husband suggests that they go into the water to adjust the boat and try to sit in it. Grace and Lee think this plan is dangerous because the crocodile will attack them if they move into the water. Lee gets panicked and starts screaming for help. Seeing her, Grace does the same, but the area is deserted and no one comes. They are further troubled by mosquitoes. Their cell phone, which fell into the water, is damaged. Now Grace proposes moving to another place by climbing and crossing the trees, but they need to check where the trees end. Grace's husband's glasses fell into the water, making it hard for him to see clearly. Lee's foot is injured, so now Grace checks for herself. She discovers a 100-meter gap between a few trees that they would need to cross by swimming. There are more trees further along, but this plan seems risky as the crocodile could attack them over the 100-meter distance. They can't escape because the crocodile swims faster than them. Now disappointed, Grace returns and sees the floating cut ear of the guard, which frightens her. She tells them what she found. Now her husband suggests they use the boat and try to straighten it out, as it seems to be their only option. He convinces them to let him try. He moves into the water, swims to the boat and eventually succeeds in tilting it. The sisters are relieved, but Grace's husband is not in the boat. They panic, but he soon emerges from the water and they relax. Meanwhile, the crocodile is shown moving towards him. It suddenly attacks Grace's husband and drags him into the water. They scream at this terrible sight. After a while, the crocodile emerges with him in its mouth, meaning the crocodile has taken him as well. Seeing this, Grace is devastated and starts weeping. The crocodile leaves after finishing its meal. Lee tells Grace that they are stuck and can't escape because the crocodile will kill them. Grace tries to comfort her, saying not to lose hope and that they can escape with the help of the boat. Grace climbs down and pulls the boat's rope, but it is too far. She moves to another branch to reach the rope, but the crocodile tries to catch her while jumping. Terrified, she returns to Lee. The crocodile stares at them before moving into the water. Grace becomes depressed upon seeing her husband's body in the water. She weeps while Lee tries to console her. They wait there exhausted as night falls and the place becomes more terrifying. The weather worsens and the crocodile starts eating Grace's husband's body. Hearing these sounds, Grace is heartbroken and continues to weep. The night passes and the next morning, Grace is shown not well, deeply depressed and traumatized. Lee encourages her, saying, "Forget what has happened. Now think about your future." Grace agrees and they notice their boat has moved far away. They must now swim to reach it, so they move forward into the water. Meanwhile, the crocodile appears from the water near them. They continue moving, but the crocodile attacks Grace, capturing her leg and pulling her with it. Lee gets terrified, starts weeping, and in her panic calls out to Grace. Grace emerges from the water and Lee pulls her to the tree. Grace's condition worsens due to a deep wound on her leg from the crocodile attack. Her leg is bleeding heavily, so Lee tears a piece of her dress and uses it as a bandage to stop the bleeding. The bleeding stops, but Grace is in severe pain. After a while, Lee hears the sound of a boat. To alert them, she moves to another branch and starts shouting for help. But no one hears her due to the noise of the engine. The boat leaves and the crocodile reappears near Grace. It remains submerged, waiting for her due to the blood in the water. Lee manages to get back to the Grace and ties her leg tightly to stop the bleeding. When the crocodile leaves, Lee tells Grace she will go to the boat to find a way to escape. Grace forbids her, but Lee insists on going since there are no other options. Lee carefully enters the water and swims to the boat. She climbs aboard and begins throwing out the water that had accumulated inside. She then attempts to start the engine, but the crocodile arrives after hearing the noise. It quickly boards the boat and tries to capture Lee. Terrified, Lee jumps into the water and swims back to the tree to escape. The crocodile captures her and Lee loses consciousness in the water. She wakes up on the shore next to the guard's dead body. She discovers a broken finger and ties it with a cloth. She also finds deep wounds on her abdomen caused by the crocodile's attack. Now remembering that the guard had bought a gun for protection, Lee searches for it, finds it, and cleans it with water. She loads the gun with bullets, fires to test it and finds that it works. She then breaks one of the guard's arms and uses it to create noise in the water to attract the crocodile. Now armed with the gun, Lee scans her surroundings. The crocodile does not appear immediately. Lee stands up only to find the crocodile silently approaching her from behind. Now panicked, she jumps back into the water. The crocodile chases her but then disappears. Lee stops and searches for the crocodile. It suddenly emerges and grabs her hand, injuring it. Lee then shoots the crocodile in the head, killing it instantly. Her hand is freed and the dead crocodile floats away in the water. Relieved, Lee returns to Grace. She tells Grace to be happy because the crocodile is dead and they can now escape. Lee tries to wake Grace, but she cannot. Grace had died from blood loss. Lee becomes devastated and starts weeping. She moves on, carrying Grace's body onto the boat, and this is where the movie ends. Hope you enjoyed the movie recap. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.